Well, it looks like it's an end of an era where now the Sony PlayStation 3 has ceased production in Japan, according to Sony. Looking back, the Xbox 360 ceased production April of last year, 2016. So now the second big giant of that era is, well, pretty much dead. And when I say dead, it's being honest, it's dead. It's no longer going to be produced. So if you're a fan of them, and a lot of people still love the PS3 and Xbox 360, and for PS3 it was a great media player, had all these functionalities, and so if you really want another one just to have a spare, always when I do something, my watch goes off. If you really want a spare one, you might as well go buy up one here soon enough, because they'll all be sold off. So, but you'll find some in warehouses for years to come. I mean, people are still finding SNESs and stuff like that, even Famicom disk systems, but that's a little bit different. Looking back at the 7th generation, to me, it's one of the greatest generations outside of the 16-bit era, where it was the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. Of course, we had the TurboGrafx 16 and other things, but they didn't compete like the two giants there. And really, this last generation, or 2 generations ago now, because we're on the 8th, and we're at 8.5, where these PS4 Pros and Xbox Scorpios and crap like that, and yeah, it's just one of those things that I'm kind of about. But this generation is not like the 7th. The 7th generation was an amazing run for consoles, and after 10 years, the Sony PS3 is now dead. They're no longer being produced, and it was a great console. The 360 was a fantastic console. I went with the 360, so I didn't go for a PlayStation 3. But later on, my wife and I wanted to get one, and we got one. We got one, and we've used it. We played it. It is a great Blu-ray player. It's a great system. We got some play out of it, though it's not used as much as 360. But for those of you guys who went Sony, it was a fantastic system. And I remember when it was made fun of when it first came out, $600. They went ahead and adopted the Blu-ray drive, and it thought, well, they kind of faltered. Really, looking at the 7th generation, it was flipped. Sony faltered out of the gate, where Microsoft and the 360 just did well. Maybe not at first. It was a little, that interface, those blades, they were cumbersome, but they did well. And Sony caught up, but Sony did catch up, and they're two titans. I still think the 360 did better online, but Sony had a great system there. Whereas now, Microsoft were arrogant. We all know what happened. 2013 came out with the Xbox One, all-in-one media center, where games are lower resolution, and Sony came out, smacked them upside the head, and after they went second at E3 that year and cut $100 off, more powerful system, and it flipped. But unfortunately, this shows you something, that Sony did catch up in the 7th generation. Microsoft hasn't caught up in the 8th gen. That's a difference. That is a big difference. Like I said, I'm not a Sony PlayStation 3 fan, not because I think the system's horrible. It was a great system. They were doing game installs and partial installs on their hard disk before Microsoft ever did. And there's a lot of things it's great at, and their online was not as good as the Xbox 360, at least to me, but it's a fantastic system. And when I saw that, I'm like, the Wii U's dead, 360 was dead last year, and now the PS3's dead. Now the Wii U just doesn't stack up with, the 360 or the PS3, but now we got a lot of the old consoles. We've got PS4 and the Pro, Xbox One, 1S, pretty much the same, and now Scorpio. We're really, everything is on these current mid-cycle upgrade consoles. There's no old consoles anymore. Of course, I mean, when I say dead, it's dead. I mean, it is a literal thing that it's dead. Not to throw off on it, but the Xbox 360 is dead. The PS3 is dead, and it's sad. It's sad to me, because the 7th generation was fantastic. And yeah, it sucks. It really sucks that this generation of that last generation consoles are finally, the last nail has been put into the coffin. But it is what it is. Moving forward, And I don't know if we're going to have a generation like that again. I mean, I put the 16-bit era like here in that 7th gen era. It was a little below it. It was a great generation. It really was a great generation. It was fantastic. It just, a lot of competition, a lot of good innovation came out of it. We saw that 360 just get better and better and better, and Sony got better and better and made that thing. You know, everybody made fun of also the PS3 being so fat, and then the Xbox One was so fat, but they really, you know, slimmed that thing down. It had removable hard drives at the same time, and really, you know, Microsoft did as well, but they wanted you to buy theirs. I mean, Sony really has some neat advantages, and it's sad to see that generation has finally died off. So yeah, a little over almost 6 minutes here. Nothing more I need to ramble about or go about. Just remembering a great generation. This isn't a bash of Sony. This isn't a pro Sony or bash Microsoft or pro Microsoft video. It's just a sad video to see the 7th gen is finally done. So let me know what you think in the comments below, and subscribe and share if you feel like it. Like I said, everything should have popped up on the screen to do all that subscribing and sharing. And share your memories about the PlayStation 3, what you loved or you didn't like about it. Alright everybody, Picky Gamer.